Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Stephen Howson, and this is 5 things that we learned watching Manchester United draw, but take top spot in the group against Atalanta last night. So first things first then is Maguire nightmare. This guy is an absolute shell of himself at the moment. Captain, think about some of the Manchester United captains that we've had over the years, and the fact that Harry Maguire got it so early didn't sit well with me in the first place. I didn't think he'd earned the right to be Manchester United captain, but there was a serious lack of options at the time, and perhaps that sort of shown that there was a little bit more going on at the club, but a little bit more to worry about at the club than we first thought, is because there's just an abject lack of leadership throughout the club. But when he looks around that dressing room, if he looks to his right and sees Rafael Varane, he can't lead him. He looks forward. I mean, we'll talk about Pogba in a minute, but can he lead Pogba? Can he get the best out of Pogba on the pitch? Can he say anything to Cavani or Ronaldo or Bruno or even Rashford? There's so many players in this team that consistently performing better than him. And I thought he was decent last season. I thought people looked at the start that he made and just copy and pasted that for how he performed throughout the season. He had some really good games last year. After the shaky start where I think his head was very much still in Mykonos. This season, it's now November, and I don't think he's put in a single good performance. He looks, I mean, this week aside, go back and look at the horror week that we had from Leicester right the way through to Liverpool. And all of those goals conceded that week, those 11 goals. Go and look at how many Harry Maguire's at fault for. Complete and utter lack of concentration and almost defensive nous, which is terrifying for the world's most expensive centre-half. I thought Baye was absolutely sensational, and he really had to cover up for him. I think if Varane can't make it, it looks like he probably can't against Manchester City. I think Baye needs to start in his absence. If Varane and Baye were both fit, I think that would be your first choice too, with perhaps Lindelof coming in as a third defender against Manchester City. Number 2, the Pogba problem. Slack, sloppy, not arsed. He was labouring. He was starting a lot of their attacking transitions, really, when he was losing the ball. His defensive recovery, non-existent. Where does he fit in? I might do a video tomorrow talking about Paul Pogba. I was just chatting to some of the lads in the office, and I was saying, do you know what? We always seem to want to accommodate Paul Pogba, and we do, right? There's a really gifted footballer there. We don't need to accommodate Cristiano Ronaldo. He just gets put into the team and he does his job, scoring shitloads of goals. Bruno Fernandes didn't need to be accommodated. We didn't need to find 15 different partners and 12 different formations to try and get the best out of Bruno Fernandes. You put him on the pitch and he does his job. Good players find a workaround to perform no matter the circumstances, whereas Pogba seems to find a way to not perform and still be apologised for. If he's holding out for a £500,000 a week contract, I don't think he deserves it at all. Number 3, back to square one. Last night very much felt like one step forward, which is topping the group, being probably within a win of qualifying for the next round of the Champions League, but 2 steps back. United aren't building on performances at the moment, and we are skating through with results, and ultimately it's a results business. And do you know what? If we manage to somehow find ourselves in a Champions League performance and had an absolute stinker but won it, no one cares. That feels a long way off. You're going to have to meet and beat some serious teams to get to that sort of stage. And I don't have the faith that we'd beat those teams at the moment in the form that we're playing in. Atalanta were far more organised, much more accustomed to the formation they were playing. The Varane injury means that structurally we capitulated as soon as that happened. Is that an indication of just quite how poor Spurs were at the weekend? Is it, did we accidentally happen upon the right team at the right time? The lack of being able to build. If you can change formation, have a couple of rocky games, and then start to build. But I saw nothing in the performance last night that tells me this Manchester United side is ready to start building on 2 decent results, if not great results. Number 4, Viva Ronaldo, man. Ronaldo's the saviour again. If he's the problem, then sound. I'll live with this being a problem. He's got 9 goals now in 11 games since his arrival, which is absolutely ridiculous. There's never been a more big moment player, someone who wins you games, wins you points, turns the tide of seasons. Some people talk about Michael Jordan being able to do that. I think it's Cristiano Ronaldo. The guy's going to retire without even knowing what the Europa League music sounds like. And he's built a pretty good partnership and connection with Bruno. I'd love to see him develop one with Cavani as well. And I can't believe how good he is. I can't see where the drop-off point comes for him. The goals he's scoring are not tap-ins in anyone's imagination. The movement is ridiculous. The mentality that he's got to train the way he trains, barring a serious injury, what can stop Cristiano Ronaldo? The guy is the greatest of all time, and I'm not even considering arguments about it. And finally, City are a concern. Play like yesterday, and it could be the same sort of result we saw against Liverpool. City are wounded animals coming off last week. They're going to smell blood. They obviously got Club Brugge at home tonight. Defensive injuries for us are a major concern coming into this game. It's the last opposition you want to be coming up against when you've got injuries and form issues. It's such a huge game in so many ways. If we beat them, we actually draw level with them in the table, which is weird. And an indication of perhaps the season that we're both having. We have to win this game. And I think on top of winning, I think we also have to put in a spirited performance. I don't think we can be completely dominated. I think we have to look like there's a game plan and look like we can carry it out. If we get that, I think everyone will be pretty happy as long as we pick up the 3 points. But we're a long way from knowing how certain that is, aren't we? Anyway, that's it from me. Cheers for tuning in. I'm going to do a video on POGBA specifically, and obviously Friday we will have the How to Beat Manchester City. So subscribe and make sure you're checking both of those out, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.